It's said that simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. Today's guest is a representation of this quote. Welcome to the sixth episode of Stories of Common Engineering Students. This is Shivam Hasurkar. Today's guest is the most humble, calm personality I know. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Viraj Chougule. He's kind of a person who lives life with experiences and adventures. He's fun loving and a chilled out guy, but on the other hand, really talented and a selfless person. He's really observant, which has made him one of the best advisors I know, validating with my own personal experience. So let's begin some deep conversations with Viraj Chougule. So, how's it going, bro?
Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me on this podcast. I know you have been starting this venture recently, and I'm really excited to look forward to it.
Definitely, this is going to be amazing. Some deep conversations. So, why not we begin with the basic question: why engineering? When did you decide it? And specifically, why mechanical engineering?
Well, as you know, I've been coming from an engineering background, like an industrial background, like since my grandfather's time itself. And yeah, also I saw my sister doing engineering. I saw how she lived her life in the 4 years when she was in KIT. So, being an industrial background, I was quite fascinated towards being in that particular field. So, yeah, engineering was like a fascinating trend that time. The exact reason why I joined engineering, I cannot tell that exactly why, but I definitely don't regret it.
Yeah, that's what I'm sure that most people join without knowing why they are joining engineering.
Exactly, yeah.
But afterwards, they don't regret. Right? It's not regret. Engineering gives you a lot of things and teaches you a lot of stuff about life, about how to shape your career. So, still, why did you choose mechanical engineering? There's this trend, mechanical engineering. I'm not judging, but still, you don't get much. There are not many companies that come for these core branches as of now. The major hiring comes from IT, CSE, and other branches as well. So,
Yeah.
why did you specifically choose mechanical engineering?
Yeah, so one of the reasons, as I told you in your previous question, that as you know, I'm coming from an industrial background. Also, another reason being is that mechanical engineering is quite conceptual. It's practical based and conceptual based. If you look at other branches like IT, CSE, the so called trending branches of engineering or electronics, I feel like, first of all, I don't like circuit branches because I hate circuits and I feel it's too complicated. And also, I don't like coding because, again, same, I would say it's quite complicated. And I don't know. I feel it quite like theoretical rather than conceptual. So yeah, for me it was mechanical engineering, the go-to
Okay,
option.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, as it is like your family background, your family business. So, there might have been this factor also that someday you might join your family business. And with that aspect, also, you might have added this essential factor to take the decision of mechanical engineering.
Yeah, that is one of the factors. And also, I believe that if you're getting support from a particular field from your family itself, then why not make the most of it, right?
Definitely.
So yeah, I just felt it the most sensible option for me choosing mechanical. Family background is one option. Also, I told you my own reasons. So yeah, this was a go-to option for me.
Okay. So just to give a disclaimer to most of the people who don't know about Viraj, Viraj dad is trustee member of KIT's College of Engineering. He gets this many times, and I'm sure he must be fed up listening to this. But still, yeah. But I want to ask, my question is, when you decided to take engineering, and there might have been options like you have to join KIT or not. So was there this factor that your dad being the trustee of the college, you had to or you had not to take KIT as your college?
Well, to be honest, I was not very keen towards staying in Kolhapur first of all for engineering because, as I had heard from some of my seniors and also my cousins, being in a metro city, you get a lot of exposure, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the things that I wanted to go to a metro city, at least like Pune, Mumbai, for engineering. But again, my father said that if you're going to a metro, either go to COEP or don't go.
Yeah,
Because
better college.
yeah,
Of course.
because in a metro city, it's either a way up for you or a way down for you.
Definitely.
So looking at my 11th, 12th years, my family decided that staying in Kolhapur would be a better option for me for 4 years at least. After that, you go wherever you want.
They still didn't trusted you to
Yeah,
let you go out.
that might be the case. But again, I had no regrets.
Yeah, KIT was one of the best things that happened to all of us. It was amazing. Let's move on to the first year. How was it? What all activities you participated in? And academic wise, friends wise, how was it?
Well, I would say that in engineering, all my years were really good. But the first year was, I don't know, it was something more special because it was new for all of us as we was freshers. And of course, being a fresher, we were open to all the new things happening in the college. Like I remember the first event that we had since coming to KIT in the first year, that was KIT MUN. Yeah, we met in KIT MUN. Exactly, that's where we met first time. Yeah, yeah. And also other things in first year, like new subjects, being introduced to new engineering teachers and subjects, and also a lot of new people we meet in the first year, right? Yeah. Even like completely new crowd. So there's this kind of fascination as being a fresher of first going into first year. And then there was Pioneer, of course. Yeah, Abhigyan Pioneer, wherein we took part in all the events. Even you were there. Yes. So yeah, this was the fascination being in first year, and that was one of the years which I don't think we'll ever forget in the rest of our lives. Of course, of course. So KIT conducts many events throughout a year. There are many organizations and different committees that conduct different types of events in an academic year. Also, I feel KIT is one of the very few colleges wherein we have 9 trades. So yeah. It is quite a huge college, and we all meet each other in these events. And so you and I, we met for the first time in MUN itself. It was also a memorable event. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like you said, first time we met in MUN, and it was our first event in being in KIT, right? So it was first time we had KIT MUN. Yes, it was yes. IMUN, I guess, before that. Yeah, and this was the So first time they were conducting KIT MUN. Yeah, I remember we were completely inadequate with the practices that were followed in MUN, Model United Nations, and we just participated for like fun. Exactly. Yeah. And it was just out of curiosity we had participated in it. And when we reached there for the first, we both were in dissect committee. Dissect committee, right? Yeah. What was your country? Indonesia. Yeah, you were assigned the delegation of Indonesia. Yeah. And I was assigned the Pakistan, right? Delegation of Pakistan. And the topic was for the dissect committee, something related to, I don't remember. Arms and ammunitions, I guess. Something related to arms and ammunition and terrorism, something like that. Right. And everyone just had hammered on me being a delegate of Pakistan. Yeah, I remember that. Like everyone had a point against your country because the main topic was, as we said, arms and ammunition and extremism or terrorism, whatever they call it. But yes, there were participation from other colleges too, from Kolhapur and from nearby parts of Kolhapur. And I remember the major crowd was from KIT in that committee. Yeah, right. And we all were kind of new to this event as such. And there was one college, I would not name it, but there were 3 girls from that college who had prepared like anything for this event, and they were so knowledgeable on how to yeah, they had experienced many more MUNs before us. Yes, yeah, they were way experienced in this MUN, and they knew how emotion is raised, how to conduct debate and give speech, and we were just like we just woke up and went to the event. We would search something on the internet, note some points down, and just give away that speech in the committees. That's what we did. But later on, what happened was more than fighting for our delegation, we were fighting against like college against college. That was the case. But at the end of the day, all the 3 girls from other college, XYZ college, got first, second, and third prize in line. So, that too coming into KIT. That was amazing. You participated in Abhigyan and Pioneer too. What was your motivation to participate in Abhigyan? Yeah, so first I'll talk about Pioneer because that's kind of a funny story. We were promised by one of our seniors that we would be given participation certificate and prizes for the best volunteer for working into Pioneer IST committee. in the first year. And being in first year, we didn't know much about it. So we were like, yes, certification milega and all. And yeah, we did all sorts of work like going into the printing
Groundwork.
all sorts of groundwork.
Labor work, I would say, not groundwork, labor work.
Exactly, like we were laborers that time, going into printing shop, printing the particular hoardings that were to be placed in the college campus, and bringing in some like papers and flags of the
Leaflets
event,
and all
leaflets
those
and all. Yeah, we did all sorts of work like all that labor work like lifting barrels and stuff. Just for a sake of certificate and being
This is
recognized.
kind of a tool for all senior engineers, senior engineering students, that with the name of certificate, voluntary certificate, they pitch anything to juniors, and juniors not knowing the real truth.
But the funny story was, we didn't get the certificate, of course.
Nice.
But yeah, we didn't regret it because that was a great experience.
It was fun.
It was
got
fun.
to bunk few lectures and all those
We
things.
got to bunk lectures, of course, under the name of Pioneer. So that was the first year ka Pioneer story, which was didn't quite go according to the plan. But yeah, it was fun. And Abhigyan, of course, I had heard Abhigyan from my sister, of course. Like, she was not a part of it, but she had recommended me that you take part in Abhigyan and events like that. But Abhigyan, of course, I had heard the name of Abhigyan. I didn't quite know the details, like what was exactly Abhigyan or what did they actually conduct. But yeah, when I got to know from my seniors that this is what Abhigyan does, like it's a student conference and all that. It's a major event of our college. So, like any other student in KIT in first year, even I got fascinated by Abhigyan. Like,
And you
most of us were fascinated,
yes,
right?
yes. And not only by the event, but by the people also.
By the reach, like the reach
working.
Abhigyan had was
Reach, and also by the people that were working for that event.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
Walk with World committee seniors that we had, like our super seniors and super
Right,
seniors.
right.
There was Nikhil, Shreyas,
Yeah.
Varun,
Kalyani.
Bhagyashree, Kalyani.
Right.
We were fascinated by these people. They were working so amazing, and along with their academics, and these people were just fascinating to watch, and we wanted to be like them. So we participated in those volunteering activities.
Exactly, yeah. Also, the way they had command over their committee, it was fascinating to watch, right?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that was amazing in first year. Okay, so moving on, just to go in a bit future, what mistake did you do in these 4 years, and what is your advice on that?
To be honest, I don't make any mistakes. I'm a perfectionist. Well, jokes apart, yeah, just like all the other engineering students, I have made quite a few mistakes in engineering. But one of the mistakes that I would recommend other students to not go for is usually try to avoid group studies, especially if you are in mechanical or civil, because I have had some not too good conclusions from that. So I would ask students to try to avoid group studies as much as possible, especially if it's a theoretical subject.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is one of the things. And other things is that, yeah, it might sound cliche, but it's a fact that you should not go for last minute studies. They say a lot in engineering, right? That last minute studies are
Last night studies are the best. And
yeah, if you're an engineer, you should study last night. Ab kya kar rahe ho? So that is what I wouldn't recommend to the other students, of course. That try to begin with your studies as early as possible, because in the end, it's not a burden for you considering all the other aspects like submission and co-curricular activities and stuff. So yeah, like I would recommend don't go for last minute studies, and yeah, group studies, avoid them as much as possible.
of course, this is the point. Like, it is said that last minute study in engineering is the best, but
It can be the worst as well.
after 4 years, what is going to matter if you want to pursue further education, let's say masters, let's say management, let's say MTech, anything, then your scores are going to matter. Your CGPA is going to matter, how much you have acquired, and depending upon that, you are going to apply for further colleges.
Exactly.
So getting a good score is not in any way the wrong thing. So try for it and definitely get good marks in it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on. You did a small internship in last year, right?
Yeah, the internship I worked in Pari, Precision Automation and Robotics, India. It's in Shirwal district,
Near
town
Pune,
near
yeah.
Pune. It's near Pune. So yeah, even like I had a few good memories in that of that internship as well.
What is your advice for mechanical students to take in engineering?
Internships, right?
Specifically talking about internships, yeah.
Yeah. So from the experience that I had from my internship, and I'm sure Manav would agree if he is listening to this. um, I would recommend students to go for companies that are startups rather than startups or a tad emerging companies, I would say, rather than huge corporate companies. Because yeah, of course, there are benefits of being in a corporate company for internship. Like you get more exposure, you get to meet some high level people, of course, but it has its own disadvantages, which I faced during my internship. Like working in a comparatively smaller company, you get to know every aspect of the company, all the branches of the company, and you get to have a generalized 360 view of the company.
Of course.
Yeah, so you can learn from all the aspects. But from what I learned at Pari, because Pari is comparatively a very big company, from what I learned from my internship days, I got to work in only one particular field, or I would say mostly two particular fields.
One specific task.
Yeah, they used to give me different tasks, but that was in a particular area of the company. I couldn't explore all the areas, of course. So I would recommend students from mechanical or even other branches to go for emerging companies that are right now on the way up, on the way of scaling up their business. I would recommend students to go for that because, as I said, you'll get a generalized view of the whole company, and you'll get to learn a lot more.
Yeah. On a similar note, I would also like to add, like my personal experience. I did 3 internships in my engineering, and one of it was with MNC company, wherein I was just like they just gave me some like courses to attend, and they taught me few small things, and then later on they gave me a very small project, and that was not even necessary for that company, I would say, but just for the sake of internship and then converting me to a potential employee, they were doing that. They gave me that internship offer. So
Right.
rather than that, if I compare my first 2 internships, which was with a very small company in Kolhapur itself, I had to make a application, and in that application making process, I learned everything from my own, and also I was involved in all the other things also, like creating taking operations, designing the logo of app, and all those things like which were not concerned for me as IT engineer, but still I was given that task and I had to do that. So it gave me a better exposure for that process.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So try to get internships and
Like it's not wrong having internship in a big company. It's the best thing. It would be a good thing, but I would recommend personally go for emerging companies. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So coming back around to mechanical students, I know mechanical I know students in mechanical don't have. There are no girls as such. Uh, many girls in your
Yeah, you're
class,
right.
and the famous meme: mechanical students don't get into
we get
relationships.
we get machines, not girls.
But talking about you, you were kind of the chocolate boy of KIT. I know for a fact that many girls had crush on you and were hitting on you. So, how did you take on that, and what is your advice on relationships?
Well, first of all, I don't know from where you're getting this, but I believe it's a myth that
It's not a myth,
girls
bro,
are
it's a
hitting on
fact.
me or stuff,
It's a fact.
because I never got to know about that much during my engineering days. But yeah, like relationships during in studies or engineering, not particularly engineering, any studies. Like I'm not totally against the concept, of course, because as a person in life, I believe that you should go through all the emotions, all the phases, because in the end, you're gonna get to learn a lot from it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I'm not against the against the concept of relationships in during engineering or any other studies, but I would want to, but yeah, of course, there should be a balance in everything in life, right? If you're if you are getting into a relationship, if you're decided to date a person, then it shouldn't come in the in the way of your career. Exactly, it shouldn't be an obstacle for your career path, or in even in your family things, right? Because sometimes people get affected a lot about these things, and in the end, it can be a fact that one of the person is gonna end up getting hurt. So whatever I would suggest that whatever you do, just make sure that you have looked ahead in the future as well. Like you both are on a clear path, and there's a clarity between both of you that this can may or may not work in future. So yeah, you should just have that thought in the back of your mind.
Of course, the real world is not a fairy tale, and
Definitely not.
you should have. This is a mistake that many people in relationship do, that they get involved knowing unknowingly. I won't say yes. People have like clear path that they want to focus on their career, but unknowingly they get so involved in the relationship that later on it affects them a lot to get out of it. So what is commitment to you, bro, and to what extent would you go to fulfill that?
Well, talking about commitment, I feel that commitment is a big word right now for students, at least us. But yeah, for me, commitment is something which has to be done at some point in life, of course. So that point for each person may come early, or for some person it may come very late as well. But yeah, what I feel about commitment is that if you are ready to be committed to that person, I feel that you should make sure that the other person is on the same level, right? Like you would agree to that.
Definitely.
So yeah, as long as you both are on the same page, it's all good. Commitment can never be a better thing than when you both are in the same on the same page. But if you both are not on the same page, and especially your partner is on some has some other thoughts in his or her mind, then commitment could be the worst possible thing.
Yes.
So yeah, so that is what I feel about commitment. Yeah.
Of course. And make sure one thing, if you're not willing to go to extents to keep your commitment, don't commit at all. So keep that in mind. You might give false hopes and people might get hurt in the process. So you're not playing, relationships are not for fun. Commitment is a big thing. It's not for fun. You're playing around with people if you're just for fun there.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's get away from this topic. I don't want to extend it more.
That would be better, I guess, for both of us.
Yeah. Coming back to both of us and our family backgrounds, we both belong to business families, and I have heard this a lot of times. Maybe you might have too. That people usually judge us not with the wrong intention, but yes, the comment is like हा काय मोठा होऊन बाबाचा बिझनेसच सांभाळणार किंवा ह्याला काय गल्ल्यावरच बसायचं आहे असं kind of you might have also heard the same thing that at the end of everything you're going to just handle your dad's business. So how do you tackle this?
Well, I've heard this from most of my relatives, from most of my friends, and everyone would agree.
And for you, the thing is, in last 4 years of engineering, your dad being the trustee, everyone has commented that what Viraj is going to just sit on the chairman chair one day. Along with that, your industry, you have industry, so you're going to handle that industry itself. I have heard this many times for you.
Well,
so how do you tackle this?
I wish life were that easy. You would agree.
Of course.
Yeah, I've heard this from many of my friends. I've heard this from you as well. I've heard this from my relatives also, but I have not heard this from my dad yet. So I know that this is not the case with me. Yeah, like people do think, of course, you'll agree to this. People do think that it's very easy for us in the future, that we have our business settled and everything. But we all know, like we both know, that it's not really that simple. But yeah, of course, I do want to explore my own aspects, I want to explore my own career in my field, like industrial sector. And yeah, that is what I think others don't know, and we both know, because even you are right now having a similar kind of mindset, right? That you want to explore the most from your field first.
Yes.
So yeah, that is what I want, and like I don't have any restrictions from my family background that you should come in our business only, and I'm sure even you don't have.
Same.
So that is what I want, is I want to explore as much as I can in these next 6 to 7 years, and maybe start something of my own later on.
Yeah. So this is the same thing that my dad told me. Yeah, he has built two businesses from scratch, and I'm really proud of him. And he always tries to motivate me so that I can explore on my own to create my own path, achieve my own goals too. So yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, right. Like we usually end up getting in same situations, both of us.
Yeah. I also want to point out this, that somewhere our lives are kind of same at the same path right now. And like if someone believes that there are cosmic stars and everything, our cosmic stars are somewhere aligned in the same fashion right now.
Right.
Like seeing every aspect of our lives, if we compare career, family, elder sister, friends, and everything, we are on the same path. Just to like give example, day before yesterday we met for some not day before yesterday, it was last Friday.
Last week we met, yeah.
Yeah, few days ago we met, and I was watching some movie on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, and I just sat in the car with Viraj, paused the movie, and he saw the just one frame of the movie, and he said, "Are you watching this movie?" The movie was
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black. That's Brad Pitt in it.
Yeah.
So, are you watching this movie? I was like, "How do you know?" He said, "I just downloaded the movie today morning, and I'm going to watch it tonight." So I was like, "How did you got suggested to this movie? Did someone tell you?" Uh, Day before yesterday, of that day, we had got the same reel in our Instagram feed. We didn't share it with each other. We both didn't like that reel, but I don't know how. Both we both got the same reel and got motivated by that reel to watch that movie.
Yeah, I literally downloaded that movie from torrent, and I was going to watch it that night.
Like these are like things that happen coincidentally, and there are too many coincidences in our lives right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So moving on, bro, I just want to ask straightforward, how are you? How are you so grounded, like peaceful, calm, all the time? Like I also feel like there there is no other person more calm than you, more composed than you. The word I would use is you are poised most of the times. So is it something that you have acquired, or this is by birth?
Yeah, I do quite agree to your statement that I am, calm and composed and stuff like that. Like many people have told me that since my childhood itself. But I believe that I have acquired it right from my birth, because this is my nature itself. I don't meditate or anything like that.
You are not spiritual.
I'm not spiritual or that much patient. So I haven't acquired it definitely. But yeah, I would say that I agree partially to the fact that I'm silent, and I like observing things, happening around.
This is what I have seen in you, that even when you are calm, you are not talking much, and people around you are going frenzy. You are just observing all the things around,
Right.
and
Yeah.
taking a note of everything happening around.
Yeah, like I like to observe and listen. I'm more of a listener kind of a person. Even you know that.
Yes.
Being my So yeah, I haven't acquired it, of course, but it's in my nature, I would say. And I believe that expressing something when you're frustrated or when you're angry at someone or when you're sad, it just wastes your own energy. You would agree to that, I guess.
Maybe not. I'm kind of an opposite person.
Yeah, I know you're expressive, but
I'm way too expressive and way too outspoken.
yeah, but countering your point, I would rather save my energy for something more productive.
But have there been any occurrences where you have lost your calm, you have just burst out on people?
Yes, there have been occurrences.
I don't believe, bro.
If you ask my family members, they'll know that, especially my sister, because we fought a lot during our childhood. And yeah, I have had quite a few experiences where I have lost my cool.
So yeah, bro, we all lose our calm, or we all burst out at some point of the
I
time.
know you do most of the time.
Yes, I do. But there's always this one person that you go to and get the best advice possible.
Right, yeah.
Who is that go-to person in your life?
I would say since my childhood itself, I have been going like my go-to person, I guess, has been my sister because even you agree that brother-sister's bond is quite,
Yes,
close compared to
yes. More than
so,
any other thing.
so yeah, like if whatever you want to talk about, whether it's personal lives or our friends or family stuff, whatever it is which we can't talk to even mom, dad, I basically share it with my sister.
Sisters, yeah.
And not even with my friends actually, because you never know. And you would agree to that, right?
Yeah.
But
This is another point that we have in common.
so I would say my sister because we share a lot of things. Even she tells me a lot of things that she wants to talk about, and
Yeah, totally.
yeah. So it would be my sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's one more thing about our lives that is common is both of our sisters have
Have set the bars. Yeah.
bars really high, and for both of us, like your sister has done MBA from
XLRI.
XLRI, which is one of the best colleges in India,
For
known
HR, yeah.
for HR. And my sister has done masters in computer science from USA, San Jose State University, and she's currently placed in AWS, which is Amazon Web Services,
Yeah.
which is dream company for computer science students. So for both of us, expectations really high, and see, we are sitting here doing podcast.
And laughing about it. Yeah, but I believe that eventually we'll get to it. This is a journey that I think we should embrace, and this podcast is, I think, a great opportunity for both of us to look back at the good times that we have had and embrace it actually.
Of course.
In this half an hour or so.
Yeah, this is kind of one motive also, and the other motive is also, yes, I'm asking too many questions to people, and somewhere I'm also trying to explore more things, try to learn different ways that others have experienced, and I should too. So this is one my personal advantage for creating this podcast. Okay, so moving on, I want to ask a really uh, deep question to you, bro. As in, this is kind of a personal level. Maybe you have heard it, maybe you have not. But I have heard many times that you, in last 4 years of engineering, you have got everything easily. You have got your way around just because you are the son of trustee. I just to give a small example, when you were selected for Walk with World Core Committee, you were the vice president of committee, and I heard from few students around, people who are close to us, that you got into the committee just because you are a son of the trustee. But and these people were not even in the committee. So how do you like treat this kind of comments on you or something like that?
Well, eventually I thought that this question was coming from your side. Yeah, I have heard this. I have got this from many people. I have got this from many friends in college, even my cousins from other colleges, not even in KIT. So I would say that yeah, many friends have talked about it. Like many friends have told me this, but if you ask any staff members or if any teachers if I have asserted any of my authorities ever, then they all would disagree to that.
That's what the point is. Like, people who don't know you say that, but people who are really close to you, like, I know how much you have worked from person. Maybe you are more deserving. You were more deserving than me or anyone else, rest, because you have participated in so many things and you have worked for so many things. You have done like literal label work. I have never done this. I have not never gone to any printing shop to get prints and everything. Still, I was in a, like, somewhere also, the people who are close to you believe that yes, you've never exploited your powers or you have worked really hard. But anyway, people say a lot of things.
Yeah, right. People do have their own opinions, and I would not blame them. Of course, even if I would have been in their place, my mindset would have been the same about someone else, being a trustee's son. So yeah, but I had many opportunities. Trust me, I had many opportunities to assert things in college where I could have easily, but it was not that easy for me because my dad was against it. First of all, he didn't encourage any of this behavior stuff, and he didn't quite really get involved into my anything academic wise or co-curricular wise. He didn't get involved into anything. Of course, I had my own advantages. I wouldn't deny that. That would be a lie, of course, if I denied. I had my advantages, but also there are disadvantages that I had because all the staff members, all my teachers had an eye on me.
Yeah, everyone knew you, so
everyone knew my roll
they
number.
would always.
Everyone knew my name. I couldn't even get a proxy attendance. I had to attend most of the lectures.
You cannot bunk.
I couldn't bunk lectures. So that was some of the disadvantages. It was kind of a headache for me as well.
Yeah.
But I believe that I had a certain responsibility as well. Having all these, having a certain power in my hand, I had a responsibility as well.
Oh, Thor, the son of Odin.
With great power comes great responsibility. It's Spider-Man actually. But I would say it was a very good experience for me,
To be in the same college,
to be in the limelight as well, but to also
have those disadvantages
yeah, and also I tried to be as much grounded as I could.
Of course, you are the most grounded person I have ever seen. Like Viraj is so like rich, I would say, but he's not kind of the label guy. He'll not use any branded clothes or shoes. He's not concerned. He'll be the most simple person possible in the most simple way. Even if we are going for outings, trips, or anywhere, he's the most simplest person that you'll meet. If you know his background and then see his behavior, you won't believe that he belongs to this family and he's so rich. All those things. Yeah.
That is not a quality, of course, but
Yeah, it's really appreciable, bro. I have seen people getting in their heads, like they have different
right.
kind of richness in their head,
I know.
like exploiting powers and all those things. So you have done a commendable job on it. You have experienced this KIT college as a student also. Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe one day, or may not be one day, you maybe you might be a part of this management board of management of this college. What improvisations do you think are needed as from a student perspective also?
Yeah, so we both have experienced student lives and we have our own perspectives of how students, what advantages do students have from the college and what disadvantages do they have and where can we improve. So yeah, I have thought about it in my 4 years, and I have had a lot of incidents where I felt like going to my class teacher and saying, "Sir, you should have done this. You should have gone for this rather than that." So yeah, one of the examples to give, talking about an example, I would say, for example, especially for mechanical civil students, that we were given less industrial exposure. I believe during our KIT years, like yeah, our college had just gotten autonomous, and it was just the industrial exposure culture was just beginning in our college.
Yes.
But that was encouraged a bit less, I would say, because in our 4 years, I would say we had around only 5 to 6 industrial visits.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not enough for students to actually gain industrial knowledge. During of course we had practicals and stuff, but even visiting an industry is a completely different exposure.
Yes, definitely.
So that it can be improvised. I know it will get improved in future, but that is something that the college can work on right now. Yeah, so this was a major thing that I felt can be improved. Other things are like they are going well. It is on the scale of improvement itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is from my point of view. What do you think? Are there any points of improvements that the college can?
Yeah, KIT is definitely growing on a different level right now with getting autonomous status and the staff and everything is improving. But what I feel is I have done my 11th, 12th in Pune and I came back to Kolhapur due to personal family reasons. But I feel that students have less exposure here to what actually needs to be done, and there's this missing part is competition, missing competition. So I have friends from like IITs, NITs, but people in big colleges in Pune, Mumbai, and all the stuff. And what difference that I have seen there and here is students go the extra mile and with efforts, and that helps them in their future career itself. So I feel that what KIT should do is, yeah, you cannot change the whole student mentality in one night or in 1 year, but you can encourage students for doing that extra effort. I mean, taking a extra research project in one semester, taking that extra internship, giving a platform for them to prove themselves in some or the other way. Just to give out an example, like for computer science, there might be huge staff for computer science. What they can do is few associate level teachers can take on 2 3 students per semester and do a research project with them. So it would be really helpful for students on a different level.
Yeah.
Competitive coding in computer science, all the placements happen because of competitive coding, and not until fourth year we were recognized, like we were introduced to competitive coding, that to get into a job you have to pass that competitive coding round with data structures and other concepts like we require in coding. So this is what professors can encourage from like second year itself to do. We have all these resources at our hand through internet. So
Exactly.
that the path just needs to be shown.
Just to go beyond our reach.
Yes. Not apart from academic curriculum, co-curricular activities that are there, to professors need to show something that is beyond all this.
Exactly.
One last question, Viraj. Like, yes, we joked about it few minutes ago that our sisters have set the bar high, and yes, for you, I know there are a lot of people expecting great stuff from you, but in this struggling period that you have, and I also have right now, just after engineering, we are joined company and we are trying to struggle our way and trying to pursuing some higher education to get into a good college. The effort that you are putting right now and the expectations that people have from you, how would you scale that? And how would you motivate students, those who are listening to this?
Yeah, so right now, like we both are like in a struggling phases right now. And I think that this is the age where you should, try to explore as many opportunities as you get. You shouldn't like deny an opportunity straight away. And I believe that you should what we are doing right now. We are like working in a company, and also we are studying for our higher
Are there
education.
any breaking points that someday you wake up and you feel, what am I doing with my life? And is there any
Many times,
is there any quote that keeps you, what is that fundamental thing that keeps you going on?
Yeah, like I have had this thought many times, like even before I sleep every night, like is it enough? What am I going to do in future right now? Where's this path going to take me exactly? I'm sure even you have felt this, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe that, I don't know, the belief, I have a lot of belief in myself, that like I haven't expressed this to anyone, but I have a lot of belief in myself, and I believe that I can make it, in this world, and I can do something different.
Definitely, bro.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to, like, let's say past 10 years, 20 years later, we are going to meet and be at different levels and
Yeah.
entirely. It was great talking to you, Viraj. Some deep conversation, some fun, some memories living again.
Yeah, it was great. I would like to thank you that you invited me to this podcast, and it was great to go back to the memory lane from the memories and moments that we had in engineering. And thanks, bro, for inviting.
Amazing.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening. This is going on very frequently for last few months. But yeah, cheers, bro. Thank you everyone for listening to the entire episode. I hope you liked it. Keep on sharing and keep on listening to stories of common engineering students.